You can list every reason you're stuck and still be stuck. You know it's fear, you know it's perfectionism, you know it's hypervigilance. Naming it hadn't moved you 1 inch. So, why does knowing the problem never fix the problem? Because your brain isn't waiting for information, it's waiting for permission to be imperfect. And it'll wait forever because you keep asking it to wait for 100% that's never coming. I've watched this play out for almost 2 decades, not in the clinic, in sales meetings, coaching calls, deals that stall for no reason anyone could explain on paper. People don't stall because they're missing information. They stall because moving without guarantee feels like too much risk. I've watched the same pattern play out, and people freeze the same way thousands of times by now. So here's where it actually starts for me. The kitchen table, 11 at night. I open the laptop. I open a blank document. I close it. I open it again. I start thinking to myself, if I do this wrong, I'm going to waste the whole idea. My knee won't stop bouncing under the table. I check my phone again. Then again. There's no message waiting for me. I check it again anyway. My wife calls out, "Are you coming to bed?" And I say 5 more minutes. I've said 5 more minutes for the last hour. So awareness was supposed to be the exit. Instead, it's built like a cage, a well lit one. So you can see every wall, count every bar, and still not find the hinge. The lights being on is the cruelest part. A dark cage, you at least have an excuse. A well lit one just shows every day how not stuck you should be. So here's what's actually happening. Every time I learn something and don't use it, my brain logs it as a failure. The gap between what I know and what I do has a name. I call it intellectual debt. It works the same way financial debt does. You don't feel the weight of one skip payment. You feel the weight of all of them stacked every time you look at the total. The wider that gap gets, the scarier it feels you to actually move. Because now, a mistake doesn't just cost you a task, it costs you the story that you already know better. That night at the kitchen table wasn't about the document. It was about protecting the version of me who already understood the assignment. But knowing that didn't fix anything either. Because understanding the debt is just more knowledge. And more knowledge was never the missing piece. So if information isn't the fix, what is? Most overthinkers are waiting for 100%. 100% clarity, 100% certainty. The outcome will be right. The number is a fantasy. It's the thing that kept me at the kitchen table at 11 o'clock at night, closing the same document I just opened. Call it 100% fantasy. It doesn't feel like fear when you're inside it. It feels like responsibility, like you're simply being careful. But careful and paralyzed use the same muscles. From the outside, they look almost identical. So here's where the 70% rule breaks it. The 70% rule. If you have 70% of the information or you feel 70% ready, you move. You explicitly aim for a B minus because a B minus you actually finish if worth more than an A plus that only lives in your head. Send the email at 70%. Post the video at 70%. Have the conversation at 70%. Lowering the target doesn't lower your standards. It just tells your nervous system the goal was never perfection. The goal was data. To make that rule work, you need to understand one more thing. Friction versus momentum. Overthinkers try to solve for the whole journey. Momentum only asks you to solve for the next 2 inches. If you're stuck, stop asking what the work requires and ask what the smallest physical movement is. Not write a paragraph, touch the keyboard. That's the whole rule. Nothing else has to happen yet. Not clean the whole house, pick up the one object in front of you. Your body saves its energy until it sees a reason to spend it. Movement's the signal that tells your body it's safe to go. Every year you spend waiting for certainty is a year you spend protecting the mistake that never actually happened. That's not a personality trait. That's a body stuck rehearsing a disaster it never needed to prepare for. Multiply that by 5, then by 10. That's not caution anymore. That's a decade spent guarding nothing. That's the real cost, not the missed deadline, not the unfinished project. The years spent guarding an outcome that was never at risk in the first place. Somewhere in there, the goal quietly changed. It stopped being about doing the thing well and became being about never being caught doing it badly. Those are not the same goals. One of them builds something, the other one just guards an empty room. You already know what it feels like to be right and stuck at the same time. That was never wisdom. It was a nervous system convinced that stillness was safer than a B minus. If that cost is too high, we've got to change how you actually start. So here's where you actually start. Find the place where your life has quietly gotten smaller. Not the big failure, the small avoidance you stopped noticing. Maybe it's the message you reread 11 times without sending. Maybe it's the idea you researched for months and never actually started. Ask what that avoidance was protecting you from, not what it's costing you. What it was protecting you from when it started. Then ask, what is it costing you now the danger is gone? Practice the replacement at 70%, not 100. One rep, one email, one paragraph. And expect it to feel like a threat the first few times. That feeling isn't proof you're doing it wrong. It's proof you're doing something your nervous system hasn't logged as safe yet. Retrain it the same way it was trained. 170% attempt at a time. Not because the fear disappears, because you started collecting proof that it was wrong.